Good morning, everyone. I think we're ready to get started. I'm Pat Berger. I'm co-chair with Ornit Sultem of the Mongolia Initiative here at UC Berkeley. And I'd like to welcome you to this second conference on Mongolian archaeology that the Mongolia Initiative has put together. The earlier one was actually the first conference right after the founding of the initiative, and this one, which takes up new discoveries and new concerns, is leading us even further into the past. We have a lot of people to thank for this. There are many groups that have come together to fund the conference, including the Institute of East Asian Studies, the Mongolia Initiative, which is funded by the Mongolian government, the Smithsonian Institution, and the Archaeological Research Facility here at Berkeley. Many people to thank as well, including my co-chair, Ornit Sultem, who is also teaching in the Department of History of Art this year. Caverly Carey, of course, who is the inimitable program director for IEAS and who has put the conference together and I think has been in contact with many of you over the past months. And also Sanjo Mehendale, who is our new director of the brand new Tang Center for Silk Road Studies, which I'm proud to say is going to be opening officially in just a couple of weeks. Beyond that, we also have Frank Billet, who is associated with the Mongolia Initiative and now with the Silk Road Center, and William Fitzhugh from the Smithsonian Institution, who is going to introduce everyone to the topics that we're going to be covering today. So let me introduce William Fitzhugh.
Thanks, Pat, and Caverly for all the great organization you've provided. This project began a year ago with an earlier Mongolian initiative called Deadly Modernity, and we sat in this room, and I think some of you from Berkeley were aware of that or here. And it was dealing with public policy, a lot of the issues about pollution, water, resources, air, and it was really fascinating. Health, a lot of the big problems Mongolia is facing today. And at the end of that, Carolee and I were sitting at dinner talking about, where might we go, with a little bit of support that was left over in the initiative funding. And so we decided to do a project in archaeology, slanting it more toward the preservation and the issues surrounding archaeology today because of the great increase in tourism, the great increase in the development sectors, mining, farming, and so on. And so that became kind of like the focus. We probably will get into to that topic in various ways this morning, but one of the ideas we had was to focus tomorrow's efforts, which is also open to people if you can come, but we're going to speak more about how to go forward with preservation programs, how to mobilize resources, how to educate the folks in Mongolia, particularly in the countryside, about protecting archaeological sites and so forth. The return of the Batar paleontological materials from after the eBay attempt to sell them in eBay has stimulated a lot of interest in preservation, and there's motion going forward in Mongolia to create a new museum of paleontology. They have fantastic material to present. And the American Center for Mongolian Studies has, for the last couple of years, had a program in cultural heritage preservation, and Julia Clark is here and will be talking more specifically about her role in that program. So we're going to be sort of thinking about ways we can improve archaeological resources, how we can improve the collection and preservation of data, as well as the real sites in the field and things like that. So I want to thank you all for coming. You will hear probably a lot of basic archaeology in addition to discussions of rock art and new findings that are being made. The explosion of archaeology is actually causing concern about all this. There's so many international programs going on in Mongolia. It's one of the few places in that part of the world that you can actually go out and continue to do research archaeology. There's, because of the political problems in so many other areas, Mongolia has been fortunately free of all those things, and it's been a country that has welcomed researchers and is very open to scholarly exchange, the only problem being the distance between us and Mongolia. So this is why I think it's important for us to be thinking about where are we going future, both in research, but we can't go forward with research without having preservation, more public knowledge about what is available and how to preserve it and so forth. So those are my really brief opening remarks, and I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank the speakers, many of whom come from distant locations. Some of us were in Vancouver for archaeology meetings a day or two ago, and facilitated Caverly's getting us down here to Berkeley. So it's wonderful to be back here, and I want to just welcome everyone and have a nice talk. And we'll have as much discussion as possible, probably more opportunity for that in the afternoon, because we have a very full program here this morning. So I think I'll invite the first panel to come up, and we'll get started right away. Thank you.
Good morning. We are starting with almost on time. Excuse me. Our first panel is on origins and expansion of pastoral nomadism. And I'm the chair, Nelson Graeber, from anthropology at UC Berkeley. And the first speaker is William Honeychurch from Yale University, who's speaking about monuments of the East, pastoralism, exchange, and down-the-line networks. And we have about 20 minutes maximum for a talk, and maybe if that's kept to, we'll have about 5 minutes discussion for each paper. Thank you.